All right, we're out for our evening walk. We don't have a morning walk. I'm annoyed with PR right now because as they raced out the door and I turned around to go back in and get the key for my car, she comes zooming in and hits me so hard she knocks me down. I am fine, but I am pissed off that she is just not more careful. Oh my God. Now that that's done, that's part for the day today, let me tell you. So I wanted to we didn't get a morning walk, and I will tell you, don't worry. We didn't get a morning walk in, but I did want to share with you I was letting the dogs out to run the property, but now that I yelled at PR, none of them are going to leave me alone. So we've got the dogs, and they're going to walk, I guess, with us. So, as my sister lives on 4 acres, and we are just going to take a walk along her property in lieu of our morning walk. And see what kind of wildlife we may or may not find in her backyard. Come on, you. Stay away from that. PR, come. Oh, God. Bless you. So, this is my sister's backyard. Pretty amazing. I need to turn the water on for her pool, so we'll walk over there and do that. So how was your day today? I will tell you all about the challenges in mine. However, I'd love to hear about yours. She has a beautiful home. She gets gorgeous views. Her sunsets and sunrises here, are amazing and wonderful. And I just have to watch where I'm walking. But I want to put water in her pool. And that is something, well, anybody that has a pool, at some point you have to add water to it. But here, it's almost like an every other day thing. This is part of her front yard. It's a lot of work, let me tell you. And for a girl that has allergies as bad as she does. It's her above ground pool. She had this nice deck built. Let's walk. All I have to say is that I'm glad that I'm good and strong, both mentally and physically, because this day has really just taken it out of me. And there used to be a chicken coop over here. Just took that down. We're just going to keep an eye out for snakes and probably tarantulas. Other than that, I don't expect at this time of day we'll see anything. Oh, there's a bunny rabbit. They will never catch that rabbit, but they are going for it. That rabbit is long gone. So there are bunny rabbits. We don't worry about the bunnies. They are way faster than these dogs. All right, so my day. How was yours, first of all? I want to hear about yours because it may or may not have been as challenging as mine, but I'd love to hear about it anyway. So what challenges did you face today? What did you do to overcome them? What went right today? Love to know about things that go right. So, my day. I started off this morning just fine. Last night, closed the gate to my sister's property so that when I got up this morning, I could let the dogs run. They could roam the property. So I did that. Got up this morning, fed them, open the door, let them go. And they had a really good time. No hassles getting them back in the house. Usually there's a little bit of a hassle getting them back in the house. Get them back in the house. And Pierre just found a lizard. That's funny. The lizard left already, girl. What is that? Oh, it's a golf ball. I was like, is that an egg of some sort? It's a golf ball. So, I got the dogs back in, get in the car to leave, get to the gate, and I do the remote to open the gate, and the gate is not opening. It's not opening. So I give it a few seconds, and I try and push again, and the gate is not opening. And I give it a few more seconds, and I try again, and the gate is not opening. I get out of the car. I feel like maybe I need to give it a little jiggle. It's not budging. It is latched. It is latched tight. It is not going anywhere. So my poor sister, who's out of town and her last full day on her business trip, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to bother you. However, I can't get out the front gate. What am I supposed to do? How do I make this thing open? She's like, oh, sometimes that happens. You just have to kind of wiggle it, get out there and kind of give it a good pull. I said, but I did that and it hasn't opened. And there was like an alarm coming through. And what are you laying in the dirt for, girl? So we'll go ahead and I try it again anyway. But there's an alarm coming out of this box off to the side of the gate. And I tell her that, and I mean, she's not here, so what the hell is she gonna know? And I said, okay, I'll figure something out. So I called Jeff. I tell Jeff I can't get out. I can't get the gate open. When he was staying here, I asked him if he had that experience. Was there something I need to do? He said no, but he'd come and get me. That way I could get to the studio. As I hung up the phone with him, the pool guy comes. And he saw my car. He saw my car, you know, like it was trying to head out. So he pulls back and over to the side, and I wave him forward. And I said, I'm so sorry, I can't get the gate open. I said, you're going to have to walk everything through. Wow, look at the size of this anthill. That's kind of big. All right, so he's like, not a problem. He goes, I can do that. As he's walking through, he kind of peeks over his shoulder at the gate, and he's like, he just kind of gets to work on the gate. And he manages to get it open. I'm like, what did you do? How did you do that? So there's a pin that the gate latches around. He just pulled the pin straight out. I'm like, oh, damn, if I had known that. So I called Jeff right away. I said, hey, don't bother coming. Pool guy got the gate open. But the gate still wouldn't swing all the way open. What are you boys doing? Come here. Come on. So the gate still wouldn't swing all the way open. So we went ahead and the arm that would open and close it, he disconnected that. Which again is just a pin and a clip. So I had him show me exactly what to do so I know how to put it all back together. And I'll show my sister. And I thought initially maybe it was the remote, needs a new battery. However, the light's lighting up on the remote every time I hit the button. So I figure it's going to be okay. But it wasn't. Moral of adventure number 1 was we managed to get off the property and make it to the studio. I was supposed to walk PR before I left for the studio, but that did not happen because there was no time by the time we were finished fussing with everything. So I went to the house, said hello to everybody, and then left for the studio. But before I left, or as I was leaving, the tile guy came for the pool. and talked to him briefly. He's like, I'm going to finish out the tile today. I'm going to level out the top, and then I'll come back tomorrow and do the travertine. I said, awesome. Fantastic. And I go off to teach my classes. And then I ran back to my sister's because I need to get my computer, and then go back to the house. And I had a Zoom meeting and doing some work. And I'm kind of in the middle of my meeting, and my husband's motioning me through the door that he's, I'm like, I'm working, like, no, I'm just ignoring him. And then he kind of opens the door the third time, and he's like, pool guy's leaving, there's a problem. So I had to abruptly leave my meeting to go and talk to the pool guy, to find out that the one end of the pool has not been poured or formed level, that it's off, it's crooked. So he can't proceed with the tile. He can't proceed with the tile. He also is not going to be able to do anything with the travertine, because when you lay the travertine, he's got to do the corners first, and if the corners aren't right, it throws everything else off. So I'm like, okay, get on with the contractor. Contractor says, well, let me get in touch with the concrete people, the shotcrete people, because it's their job to fix it. So tile guy explains to me everything that's going on, what's wrong, how it's wrong. And explains to me why it is he can't go on. It's like, okay. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I said, and you leave. Now you're leaving for vacation for a week, which you totally deserve. I said, but I'm not going to have anything done for a week. Again. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I said, well, it's not your fault. And I appreciate that. But I know it's not your fault. And so he leaves. We're back and forth with the contractor, who finally gets in touch with shotcrete people, who said they'll be out on Tuesday to fix the problem. But even if they come on Tuesday, can't get the tile done. I don't know. And there's a lot of other work that has to be done. But again, communication just isn't seeming to happen. And it doesn't matter, all the questions I ask, they don't get answered. So it's very frustrating. And it is my lesson in patience. I keep reminding myself of that. Patience. Well, we've walked 4 acres, just so you know. And so Tuesday they're going to come and they're going to kind of cut the wall, the inside of the wall, to make it straight. And then whether anything happens the rest of that week or not, I have no idea. The contractor said he's going to try and come out tomorrow, but there's no guarantee. Jeff's leaving around 10:30. I won't be home until noon. And we told him that, and he's like, well, if I don't make it out there. I'm like, I'd really like you to make it out here. I'll try, was all I got. So that's kind of where we're at. It's where we're at. That's what's going on. And we are no closer to having the pool finished than we were when the concrete got laid. So from what I understand from talking to the tile guy, because Jeff had said, well, once you finish the tile, they'll do the shotcrete. And he said, no, the shotcrete, or not shotcrete, the pebble deck. And he's like, no, pebble deck is the absolute last thing that gets done just before the water gets put in. He said, you still have to have your electric done. This all has to be cleaned up around it. The wires have to be buried. He has to finish the tile and the coping and the cleanup and an inspection. And then after the inspection, they can do the pebble deck. So, how long's all that going to take? I have no idea. None at all. Really don't have a clue. But that was that challenge today. Then I made dinner for Jeff. I made egg foo young with gravy. And it came out good. It was the first time I ever made it. Super simple. You know, food is food, and everybody just calls it something different. Because egg foo young is basically a frittata, which is what? An omelet that's not folded. So it's all the same. But I made him some pork egg foo young, which he seemed to enjoy quite a bit. And that was that. We're in the house now. I can take those off. And then I got everything together. Of course, I worked in between everything. Got a bunch of stuff accomplished. And that's that. That was my day. Those were my challenges. I had the best conversation I could have about the pool with whoever is going to listen and respond. Oh yeah, and then PR knocking me over in the house on the tile. So, and I did yell at her. And I really don't care if her feelings are hurt, because I tell her all the time to stop doing that. When you try and get out the door, she will go out. She will push you aside to get out the door before you. And it's not like she's going anywhere without you, yet it's what she does. So we'll see if she learned anything after today. Yeah, and that's today. Today is just one of those days, guys. Took a few deep breaths in between all of the challenges that arose. At least doing the egg foo young was not challenging. And the walk around the property was nice. And I feel a little better after that. As I think in a previous video I said, whenever I feel really stressed out and I just want to let go, if I go for a walk, I'm outside in nature, I usually feel a lot better. And I do. So maybe you give it a shot. You're stressed out, maybe go for a walk. Just get outside. Get some fresh air. Even if it's not that fresh, it's going to be different than what's inside your house or your office. That's our catch up for today. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. And Saturday, I think we're going to run into Tucson. And I need to go to Costco. And I think that's about it. But that's a full day, just going into Tucson and kicking around there and then coming back. So, caught you up. There's the fabulous day. And I will talk to you very soon. I am practicing my patience. I am definitely doing my deep breathing. And it works because nobody's died yet, including myself from stress. So, I will see you very soon. I hope you have an amazing evening at this point. Day tomorrow. We'll catch up in the morning. And I will talk to you very soon. Like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.